Get ready to meet the most insane muscle cars ever built, straight from the factory. These 7 beasts are raw power on wheels. Number 7. The 1963 Chevrolet Impala Z11. This isn't just any classic car, it's a rare factory-built muscle machine that defines American automotive history. Imagine a car crafted not just for cruising, but for pure speed, straight from the factory floor. Only a handful of these Z11 Impalas were ever produced, making it one of the most coveted collector's cars in the world. Even today, enthusiasts still marvel at its combination of elegance, rarity, and raw performance. At first glance, the Impala Z11 looks like a beautiful 1963 classic: clean lines, iconic tail fins, and a bold, white grille that commands attention. But don't be fooled by its stylish exterior. Beneath that polished hood lies a true beast of engineering, a 427 cubic inch big block V8 engine. For the early 1960s, this engine was nothing short of revolutionary. It produced over 430 horsepower, giving the lightweight Impala the ability to dominate any drag strip it hit. Every rev of that V8 delivers pure, unfiltered American muscle energy. Paired with a 4-speed manual transmission and specially designed high-performance suspension, the Z11 offers a driving experience that's hands-on, raw, and thrilling. Braking power was also upgraded to handle the immense speed, proving that this car was designed to perform, not just to look pretty in a garage. The story behind the Z11 makes it even more extraordinary. Chevrolet engineers had a vision: create a street car capable of winning on the drag strip without any aftermarket modifications. The Z11 was a purpose-built muscle car with factory race components, from reinforced chassis parts to special gearing for maximum acceleration. These cars weren't just built for collectors, they were built for performance, speed, and dominance. Every detail, from the engine tuning to the lightweight body panels, was carefully designed to extract maximum power while keeping handling precise. Driving a Z11 today is like stepping back in time. The roar of that V8 engine fills your senses, the manual gearbox connects you directly to the machine, and the car's classic lines remind you of an era when American muscle was at its peak. Rare, fast, and historically significant, the 1963 Chevrolet Impala Z11 is more than just a car, it's a symbol of ingenuity, ambition, and raw automotive passion. It's the perfect example of how factory-built muscle cars could combine style, speed, and rarity into a single, unforgettable package. Whether you're a collector, a speed enthusiast, or someone who appreciates classic American muscle, the Z11 remains a benchmark. It's not only about performance, it's about legacy. And in the world of muscle cars, few factory-built machines can claim the same legendary status. Number 6. The 1963 Pontiac Catalina Super Duty. When it comes to factory-built muscle cars, few models capture raw American power like this rare classic. Right from the factory, the Catalina Super Duty was designed to dominate the streets and the strip, combining classic Pontiac styling with serious performance engineering. Its presence is unmistakable: long, sleek lines, bold chrome accents, and an aggressive stance that commands attention wherever it rolls. But beneath its elegant exterior lies a machine built for one purpose: speed. The Catalina Super Duty wasn't just a car, it was Pontiac's answer to the rising demand for high-performance street machines in the early 1960s. Back then, muscle cars were becoming a symbol of freedom, adrenaline, and raw horsepower, and Pontiac engineers weren't willing to be left behind. Every detail, from the reinforced chassis to the special suspension tuning, was engineered to extract maximum performance while maintaining control and stability. Unlike standard Catalinas, the Super Duty models came with upgraded components straight from the factory, meaning owners didn't have to modify anything to enjoy top-tier speed and handling. Driving a 1963 Catalina Super Duty is a connection to automotive history. Its design perfectly balances elegance and aggression. Wide body panels, clean lines, and subtle yet menacing styling cues make it a head-turner. But the true magic happens when the engine fires up. The growl of Pontiac's engineering prowess fills the air, giving you a sense of the power that lies beneath. Every shift, every push of the accelerator reminds you that this car was built to perform, not just to be admired. Its rarity today only adds to its mystique, making the Super Duty a collector's dream and a symbol of early muscle car innovation. Under the hood, the 1963 Pontiac Catalina Super Duty packs a mighty 421 cubic inch V8 engine, capable of producing around 425 horsepower. Paired with a robust 4-speed manual transmission and factory performance suspension, this car was ready to take on drag strips and highways alike. High-lift camshafts, reinforced internals, and upgraded cooling systems ensured that the power could be unleashed safely and efficiently. In every way, the Catalina Super Duty proves why factory-built muscle cars from this era remain legendary, a perfect mix of raw power, precision engineering, and timeless American style.
Goes 1021, 131.
Number 5. The 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt. When you think of factory-built drag racing legends, few cars command respect like this one. Built by Ford as a purpose-built drag car straight from the factory, the Thunderbolt was designed for one thing: sheer, unrelenting speed. Only a very small number were ever made, making it an incredibly rare gem that collectors and enthusiasts dream about. Even today, its combination of lightweight design, aggressive performance, and classic 60s styling keeps it standing out in any lineup of muscle cars. From the moment you lay eyes on the Thunderbolt, you can tell this isn't your average Fairlane. Its stripped-down body, fiberglass hood and fenders, and minimalist interior reveal a car that was built with performance as the top priority. Every detail, from the suspension setup to the sleek, aerodynamic lines, was crafted to give it a serious edge on the drag strip. Unlike street versions, this car sacrifices comfort for speed, proving that Ford wasn't messing around when they built the Thunderbolt. Its presence alone commands attention, blending the classic Ford styling of the era with race-ready aggression. The story behind the 1964 Fairlane Thunderbolt is fascinating. Ford wanted to compete in factory drag racing against Chrysler and Chevrolet, so they created a car that could go head-to-head on the strip without any aftermarket modifications. The Thunderbolt wasn't just fast, it was meticulously engineered to dominate quarter-mile runs. Lightweight components, reinforced chassis, and purpose-built tires all contributed to a car that could accelerate harder and faster than most competitors of the era. Its rarity and factory racing pedigree make it a car that still inspires awe in collectors and racers alike. Driving a Thunderbolt, even in theory, is a glimpse into automotive history. The lightweight chassis makes it incredibly agile for a car of its size, while the stripped-down interior ensures the driver remains fully connected to the machine. You can almost hear the roar of the engine before you see it, and the anticipation of that launch gives you chills. This car embodies the pure, unfiltered spirit of 1960s American muscle, where every component was designed for one thing: domination on the drag strip. Under the hood, the 1964 Thunderbolt packs a mighty 427 cubic inch V8 engine, producing a jaw-dropping 425 horsepower straight from the factory. Paired with a high-performance automatic or 4-speed manual transmission and upgraded suspension, this engine delivers raw acceleration that can send the car down the quarter mile in record time. Every detail, from fuel delivery Thunderbolt proves that factory-built muscle cars weren't just about looks, they were about pure, unrelenting performance. Number 4. The 1965 Dodge Coronet A990. If you think muscle cars got wild in the 70s, wait till you see what Dodge was doing a full decade earlier. The Coronet A990 wasn't built for comfort, it wasn't built for luxury, it was built to win. Straight from the factory, this car was a weapon designed for one thing only: drag strip domination. Back in the mid-1960s, the muscle car wars were heating up fast. Every manufacturer wanted to prove who had the most powerful engine and the quickest quarter-mile times. Dodge took things to the extreme with the A990. On the outside, it looked like an ordinary Coronet, clean and simple. But underneath that unassuming body was something far more dangerous. Dodge engineers stripped out the luxury and packed in pure performance. They used lightweight aluminum front fenders, hood, and bumpers to shed every extra pound possible, and even removed sound insulation to make the car lighter and faster. The A990 wasn't meant for the average driver. It was sold mainly to professional racers through Dodge's factory race program. Inside, the car was bare bones, just 2 lightweight bucket seats, a simple dash, and a steering wheel. No radio, no heater, no nonsense. Every ounce of this machine screamed purpose and performance. It was the definition of factory-built race car. When you hit the throttle, the Coronet A990 came alive like nothing else from its era. Its rear tires would fight for traction, the front end would lift off the line, and within seconds, it was gone roaring down the strip, leaving everything else behind. It was a raw, untamed beast that didn't care about refinement. It was pure muscle in its most primal form. And now, the part that made the A990 truly legendary, its engine. Under the hood sat a 426 cubic inch Hemi V8, hand-assembled by Chrysler's best. Officially rated at around 425 horsepower, in reality it produced well over 500. With dual 4-barrel carburetors and high compression pistons, this Hemi wasn't just powerful, it was brutal. That engine became the heart of Dodge's racing legacy and the foundation for the Hemi legend that still lives today. The 1965 Dodge Coronet A990 wasn't just a car, it was a factory-built monster that redefined what muscle truly meant. Number 3, the 1966 Ford Fairlane 500 R-Code. Get ready, because this one wasn't built to pose, it was built to hunt. When Ford released the Fairlane R-Code, they weren't trying to impress Sunday cruisers, they were aiming straight for the drag strip crown. From the outside, it looked like any mid-60s Fairlane: clean lines, chrome trim, and a no-nonsense attitude. But underneath, it hid one of the wildest hearts ever fitted to a Ford body. In the mid-1960s, Detroit was in an all-out horsepower war, and Ford wanted to prove they could take on Chevy's Super Sport and Mopar's Hemi monsters. The result was the R-Code Fairlane 500, a lightweight, stripped-down street car with a race engine soul. Engineers shaved off unnecessary weight, reinforced the chassis, and tuned the suspension for straight-line acceleration. What rolled out of the factory was a car that looked civilized, but drove like a bare-knuckle brawler. Slide into the driver's seat and everything feels purposeful. No fancy luxury, no gimmicks, just gauges, a shifter, and that deep sense that this machine means business. Fire it up and the idle alone tells the story. The car doesn't whisper, it growls, it shakes, and it warns you that something serious is about to happen. On the open road, the R-Code delivered explosive torque, planting drivers firmly into the seat with every press of the throttle. The Fairlane styling was pure muscle, long hood, short deck, and a stance that looked ready to pounce. Drag racers of the day loved it because it was reliable, brutal, and fast right out of the box. Few factory-built cars of the era captured the raw energy of 1960s racing culture quite like this one. It was the perfect mix of everyday practicality and track-ready aggression, a car that could commute on Monday and dominate the quarter mile by Friday night. And now, the part that truly made the R-Code legendary, its engine. Under that modest hood sat Ford's fearsome 427 cubic inch V8, hand-assembled, high-compression, dual 4-barrel carburetors, and a solid lifter cam. Rated at 425 horsepower but known to produce far more, it turned the Fairlane 500 into a street-legal race car. Paired with a close-ratio 4-speed manual and heavy-duty driveline, it was capable of mid-12-second quarter-mile times right from the factory. Brutal, beautiful, and born to win, the 1966 Ford Fairlane 500 R-Code remains one of the most authentic muscle cars ever built.
Fairlane, called Tunnel Torquer.
Number 2. The 1968 Dodge Hemi Dart. If you think muscle cars today are wild, this one will make them look tame. The Hemi Dart wasn't built for the streets, it was born for the drag strip. Imagine taking a lightweight Dodge Dart and stuffing a monstrous race-bred engine under the hood. That's exactly what Dodge did in 1968. This wasn't a luxury car, it wasn't a cruiser, it was a pure, fire-breathing machine built to destroy competition a quarter mile at a time. Only about 80 of these beasts were ever made, and they were sold straight from the factory as ready-to-race cars. No radio, no heater, no sound insulation, just raw metal and horsepower. Even the side mirrors and rear seats were removed to save weight. The body panels were made from lightweight fiberglass and aluminum, giving the car a stripped-down, aggressive look that screamed speed. The goal was simple: make it as light and as fast as humanly possible. From the outside, the Hemi Dart looked like any other Dodge Dart, plain, simple, and almost harmless. But car enthusiasts knew better. Underneath that modest appearance was a monster waiting to unleash chaos on the drag strip. The car came with oversized rear tires, a high-rise hood scoop, and minimal paint detailing. It wasn't built to impress, it was built to win. Every part of the Hemi Dart had one purpose: performance. Driving one of these cars wasn't for the faint of heart. It was loud, brutal, and unforgiving. The steering wheel shook, the tires screamed, and the car launched forward with insane power. It demanded total control, rewarding only the most skilled drivers. When you stepped into a Hemi Dart, you weren't just driving, you were wrestling with a wild animal that could easily get out of hand if you weren't ready. And now, let's talk about the heart of this legend. Beneath the hood sat Chrysler's legendary 426 cubic inch Hemi V8 engine, a true masterpiece of American engineering. It produced over 425 horsepower, though most racers claimed it was far more powerful. In reality, closer to 500 horsepower. The engine featured dual 4-barrel carburetors, high-compression pistons, and a heavy-duty drag race transmission. With that setup, the Hemi Dart could run the quarter-mile in the 10-second range, right out of the factory. No modifications, no tuning, just pure, unfiltered power. The 1968 Dodge Hemi Dart remains one of the wildest factory-built muscle cars ever created, a lightweight rocket with the soul of a drag racer and the heart of a lion. Even today, it stands as proof that when Dodge wanted to build something outrageous, they didn't hold back. This was muscle car insanity, straight from the factory.
For a tough fight, the Hemi Dart became a legend on the drag strip. It racked up countless victories, setting records along.
Number 1, the 1968 Plymouth Hemi Barracuda. Get ready for one of the wildest muscle cars ever unleashed from a factory floor. The '68 Hemi Barracuda wasn't just a car, it was a rocket in street clothing. Built when Detroit's horsepower wars were at full throttle, this machine blurred the line between a drag strip monster and a street-legal legend. The Barracuda had already earned a reputation for style and speed, but when Plymouth decided to drop a 426 Hemi engine into this lightweight body, everything changed. Suddenly, the Barracuda transformed from a cool cruiser into a pure performance weapon. It wasn't meant for casual Sunday drives, it was born to destroy the quarter mile. Every inch of this car screamed power. The wide stance, aggressive curves, and minimal chrome gave it a no-nonsense look that warned everyone around it: this car means business. On the track, its roar was unmistakable, a deep, thunderous growl that echoed pure dominance. And because it was a limited production model, seeing one in the wild was like spotting a mythical creature. Most of these cars went straight into racing hands, rarely touching public roads. What made the '68 Hemi Barracuda so special was its purpose-built nature. Plymouth engineers stripped away anything unnecessary: sound deadening, heavy seats, luxury trim, all gone. It was built light, fast, and brutally efficient. The result? A car that could launch like a slingshot and tear through the quarter mile in under 11 seconds, factory fresh. That kind of performance in the late '60s was unheard of. Today, the Hemi Barracuda stands as one of the most iconic and valuable muscle cars ever created. It represents the peak of raw, untamed American engineering, a time when more power was the only rule that mattered. Collectors call it a unicorn for a reason. Fewer than 80 were ever built, and each one tells a story of fearless innovation. And now, the heart of the beast. Under that long, sculpted hood sat Chrysler's legendary 426 Hemi V8, producing a staggering 425 horsepower and around 490 pound-feet of torque. Paired with a 4-speed manual transmission and a lightweight rear-wheel setup, the Barracuda could rocket from 0 to 60 in just over 4 seconds, numbers that even modern muscle cars respect. That engine didn't just power the car, it powered a legend.